Myself, Dr. Sriram Jade, once again I congratulate and welcome you all in this national webinar series conducted by Dr. Moonje Institute, Nasik. Yesterday, Mr. Sunny Deshmukh, cyber security expert, delivered the lecture on current trend in IT and career opportunities with reference to COVID-19 situation. Yesterday, we have conducted this session and very good response from the audience. Today's topic is information technology infrastructure library as a best practices. TMI always conducted such type of the program, such type of the activities as a social cause. Recently, DMI started the cloud computing certificate course. It's a free for all. That should be started from the 26th June 2020. It's a completely free. We have got the very good response. Some sessions we have already conducted and some are the going on. If I, from this platform, I request you, if anybody is interested to register on that course, they can register. They should mention their interest in the feedback form provided at the end of this session. DMI Dr. Moonje Institute is running the MBA and MCA courses. Our institute is approved by All India Council for Technical Education and affiliated to Savitribai Phule Pune University. Now, from this platform, I'm very happy to announce that, or pleased to inform you that those people who are interested to make the career in the computer disciplines, now from this academic course, MCA has been 2 years duration instead of the 3 years. Now, from the current scenario, Startup India, Digital India, Make in India, from seeing such type of the scenario, it's seen that the very good opportunities, those who are threshold career on the computer discipline, they have the very good platform to do this such type of MCA course. Dr. Moonje Institute provide the quality education, and in this quality education, the discipline is required. And DMI, Dr. Moonje Institute is the only institute to provide military training adventure camp for overall development of the student. So I request all the aspirants to take this facility and to contact the institute telephonically regarding this matter. Okay, let us move towards the today's session. The today's resource person is Mr. Harish Godse. I am very much proud that Mr. Harish Godse, is the alumni of our institute. He did MCA successfully from Dr. Moonje Institute. He has a very good experience regarding the cloud computing expert. Earlier, he was in multiplex system. Now, system as a chief executive support for 5 years. Currently, he is working as a project head at ESDS Nasik. Mr. Harish, I welcome you in this session and request you to start your session. Thank you very much. Mr. Harish.
Thank you very much, sir. It's really a pleasure to be available in this particular forum. First of all, I would like to thank you and the entire faculty of Moonje Institute for inviting me to give a presentation on the very much important topic for the careers of the new generation entrepreneurs or the people who are going to pass out and they will be focusing on to their careers. So I am Harish Godse. I am currently associated with ESDS Software Solutions Private Limited, Nasik, as a project head, projects department. I am associated with ESDS since last 8 years. So I look after the cloud computing projects and migrations. So I'll directly jump on to our today's topic. So today's topic is ITIL, which Hades reiterated. It's IT infrastructure information library. So the students or the PG students who have completed their MCA or who are pursuing MCA, I would strongly recommend everyone, each one of you, to at least you should have this particular certification course with you, that you will be able to understand the standard practices while performing the IT job. So what basically ITIL is, I have a presentation in front of you. I hope everybody of you is available to view this particular presentation. So what basically ITIL is? ITIL is a framework. It is a framework of best practices which every individual should follow. It is a widely accepted best practice framework in IT service management, a typical term called as ITSM. It is mapped in ISO 20000 Part 11. It recognizes the way ITIL can be used to meet the requirements set for the ISO 20000 certification. This is the first search mapping that ISO has allowed to be part of its standards. So, ITL, importance of ITL certifications. Let's say I have passed out, I have done my MCA from Dr. Moonje Institute, and then I hunted for a job opportunities in market and everything. So I heard that there is a additional preference given to the members who are PMP certified. PMP means project management professional certified, who is ITL certified. So why these preferences are given to the market? The reason behind that is these practices, these are the best practices which every professional should implement into his day-to-day professional life. Like a project manager, a project manager is the person who ensures the complete end-to-end delivery of the project. For that project plan, he should have a project plan, he should have a resource plan. So all those, what is the best practices, what are the principles on which a project is particularly delivered. So specifically for IT projects or IT service management, ITL is the benchmark. They have the best practices which individual and each one of us should follow. So there is a certification map you can see on your screen. So first course, whichever whoever is going to pursue this, first they have to apply for the foundation course. Now ITIL version 4 is available in market. ITIL version 3 is outdated. So now version 4 is available, and this is the chart or the hierarchy which we need to follow for pursuing this particular certification. So every individual has to first complete the ITIL foundation. I'll take you through the course material of the foundation in this particular session. Once the foundation is completed, then professional level, and once professional level is completed, then you have to apply for the ITL master level program. So this is a modular approach of the framework. It comprised of a series of certification focused on different aspects of ITL best practices. There are 5 certification level with this scheme: foundation, practitioner, intermediate, expert, and master. So moving forward with foundation, it is an entry level certification. It ensures general awareness of the key elements, concepts, and terminologies used in ITL service lifecycle. It covers information of stages, processes used, and their contribution towards the service management practices. So, ITL Foundation for version 4 introduces readers to manage the modern IT enabled services. It provides an understanding of common language and key concepts. It also shows how to utilize the ITL 4 guidance to improve their organizational work. It provides the learners to understand the ITL service management framework, and it explains the evaluation of service management through adoption of modern technologies. These are the learning objectives of foundation course. What is service management? So, general, to define in general terms, what is service management? Service is a particular activity or a task which we perform in our day-to-day operations in our professional life. So any kind of task or any kind of activity which we are performing towards our customer is called as a service. So to manage that particular service in a professional way, so that you there will be a value creation or value co-creation, some practices, some best practices are listed which we should follow. So ITIL service life cycle tells us about that. There are generic concepts and definitions, principles, models are mentioned in the ITIL entire course material. Who is this certification for? So I told the postgraduate professionals, persons who are completing or who are pursuing MCA or MBA graduates can also, postgraduates can also pursue ITL if they are willing to work in IT industry, specifically IT industry. So this certification is for a professional who requires a basic understanding of the framework, who want to understand how ITL can be used to enhance IT service management, IT professional or other working within an organization that has adopted ITIL. So within an organization means, if you are aware, there are major tools like Infor, Motadata. These are big software tools, or in generic terms, it is called as SAP or ERP is implemented in big turnover companies. So where the ITL framework is incorporated into their daily practices. So if any individual or a professional wants to join an MNC or any big organization, he should be aware of, he or she should be aware of the basic and best practices of ITL, so that it becomes easy for them to crack the interview and increase their knowledge. It is also beneficial for the individuals beginning their journey in service management, individuals who are working in other parts of IT like digital product and development with strong interface with service delivery, and existing and aspiring ITSM manager, IT service management managers. So this is the high level course agenda. So introduction to service management and IT, key concept of service management, four dimensions of service management, ITL service value system, ITL management practices, and examination format. So I have this course material readily available. So what is value creation? What organization, what the term organization means in ITIL, what the term service provider is mentioned in ITIL, who is service consumer, who is service provider, who are the stakeholders, what is a product, what is a service, what are the relationships, service relationship, product relationship, what are value or outcomes, cost and risk. So basically these are generic terms. If you do Google or if you have a dictionary meaning, you will get a definition that what is organization, what is, who is a service provider, what this particular term means. So ITL has its own definitions and terminologies. So there will be a slight different explanation of each term. What is organization? Who is service consumer? Who is service provider? All these concepts are easily and when updated in ITL version 4, then version 3. ITL basically version 4 tells about the two concepts, the key concepts of service management and the four dimension model. The four dimension model is basically, first dimension is organization and people, second dimension is information and technology, third one is partners and suppliers, fourth one is value stream and processes. So when we go this particular unit 3, you will get details about it, that what these four dimensions tells about and what are the general principles. So ITL service value systems tells about the guiding principle, governance. I have some diagrams with me as well, so that you will get a clear idea on this. ITL best management practices to conduct this particular session. So ITL best management practices, there are total 34 practices ITL talks about. Those 34 practices are distributed into three segments. First one is the general management practices, second one is the service management practices, and third one is the technical management practices. So general management practices consist of 14 practices, service management consists of 17 practices, and technical management practices consist of 3 practices. Anyone who wish to perform or to give the exam, so there is the basic agenda criteria. assessment criteria, examination administration, question types, how the questions are given. So I'll move to my next detail of service management. What is basically a service management and principle? So significance of service management. So introduction of IT service management. Service management is included in. I hope you are able to view my screen. Yes. So cloud computing, infrastructure as a service, machine learning, blockchain, opened opportunities of value creation. So all these factors which are you are able to view on the screen consist of IT service management. Organizations are in digital transformation to exploit the digitization opportunities. So by adopting digitization, it increased the velocity, operational agility, predictability, and scalability. So you go through this particular slide. I have one video to share with you.
Itil 4, connecting key concepts. Itil 4, the latest evolution of Itil, provides a holistic way for IT professionals and organizations around the world to.
You are able to see my screen.
Yes, visible.
Yeah, and is it audible also?
Yes, audible.
Co-create value in the modern service economy. All organizations have resources that need to be configured to create products that offer value to potential consumers. From these products, the organization creates service offerings which are designed to address the needs of consumers or consumer segments such as quality and price. By doing so, the organization acts as a service provider. Other organizations or individuals acting as service consumers choose the service offering that best suits their needs. They enter a service relationship to interact with the provider, which in turn generates or co-creates value for the consumer provider. For example, a bank might create a mobile banking app for customers, but value is only co-created when the customer uses the app to pay bills or transfer money, which generates data and possibly transaction fees for the bank. Value can be shared among multiple stakeholders, for example, the provider, the consumer, suppliers, and potentially regulators and tax authorities.
So in this video or this picture, you might be in front of you. What ITL says is the most important factor which ITL focuses on in the value creation and the value co-creation. Now here from the left side, you can see there is one particular organization with its resources. Resources means, let's say I work for one particular organization. I am its resource. I am a project manager or a project delivery head. I have my team of technical resources. I have my data center cloud services available. So I have products portfolio with as well with me. So I have a cloud computing available. We provide hosting to customers and everything. We have our product. In second line, you can see that. Now, what consumer requires? So consumer demands for some kind of services to me. So I am a service provider to that particular consumer, and consumer means he is a service consumer. So usage and the transaction which happens between us, service consumer and service provider, is called as a service relationship. And when value is co-created, where the addition is given further, and the multiple stakeholders means while providing any kind of service to a consumer, I need intervention of multiple vendors or the stakeholders. All those are my stakeholders in that particular project. This is what ITL talks about, and it is further value created.
In turn, these stakeholders exert influence or constraints on the service provider. We can describe these using the pestle model. Political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental factors can impact the way the service provider manages its work and resources. Itil 4 provides a model to describe the organization's resources, the four dimensions
This is the four dimension model which I was talking about.
of service management. These dimensions, organizations and people, value streams and processes, partners and suppliers, and information and technology do not exist in isolation. They overlap and interact with each other. For example, the bank needs to create appropriate management oversight to manage the data generated by its app. This requires training users on how to manage data assets, processes to deal with incidents and requests, and the required tools and technologies. At the same time, they should ensure their partners and suppliers comply with the bank's requirements. By managing the four dimensions, the organization can leverage the Service Value System Model, or SVS, that describes the various organizational components of the service provider. These components are guiding principles, governance, the service value chain, practices, and the continual improvement of the whole system. The guiding principles, together with continual improvement, can help the organization align their IT service management with lean and agile frameworks. In the middle of the SVS, we have the service value chain, which is a set of loosely connected value chain activities, which convert.
So this is the service value chain. The input required for this entire process is the opportunity or a demand of a customer or a service consumer, and the output which is received by implementing the best practices or by using the ITL framework is called as value. And this is the entire process given that plan, engage, obtain and build, deliver and support, transition. These everything whatever you are able to view in front of your screen is a complete separate chapter. What is opportunity, what is planning, what is design and transition. In ITL everything is defined very clearly, and each segment is one chapter.
Consumer demand into valuable products and services. Practices support and contribute to value chain activities. Practices are an evolution of the Itil version 3 processes and are structured using the four dimensions model. A sequence of value chain activities designed to meet the needs of a specific scenario is called a value stream, which results in a functioning product or service. For example, the bank has a value stream that maps the activities needed to design and release new app functionality. Another value stream maps the activities needed to support user complaints. Each value stream may include different activities, but each one starts with opportunity or demand and ends with value derived from products and services. Techniques like value stream mapping can help to optimize the value stream before the organization considers automating repeatable tasks. In order to design and run a new value stream, the organization should consider these key concepts of Itil 4. And by adopting these key concepts together, organizations can create a flexible and effective architecture that delivers world-class IT-enabled services. Welcome to the future of Itil.
So this is just an overview of ITIL, which you have seen. This video is available on YouTube as well. So ITIL framework is a very big syllabus, and in my earlier presentation, I have given you the roadmap, and this is the units. In foundation course, you have to go through 5 basic chapters. Each one is a different one. Each chapter consists. The first chapter you have in ITIL is introduction to service management. What is service management as per ITIL? Another one, what is service management? What are the key concepts of service management? Then what is the 4 dimension model, which we have seen in this particular video at a very higher level? The 4 dimension model. What is the service value system of ITIL? What are the ITIL management practices? So management practices are basically bifurcated into 3 segments, and there are total 34 practices. And sixth one is the how format is, what kind of questions are asked, basically. So you have this particular readily available material. You can refer it any certain point of time. But it is recommended that if you have ITIL certification with you in your hand while going to any kind of interview or while communicating with any kind of campus, it will be definitely beneficial for you. So regarding this, that's it from my side, because it's just an introductory part. And at the beginning of a session, I already informed that if we continue with the each chapter, it will take more time. And if required, I will share the material which is available with me to the college faculties, and it can be forwarded further.
Any questions from audience? Harish, I would like to ask you one question.
Yes, sir.
That it is a very good topic. Whatever you are explain all these things, it is very interesting. Those who are on the interested in the computer discipline. Apart from that, is there any role of the artificial intelligence in that, or any parameters that should be?
No, artificial. Yes, sir. I'll tell you. I got your point. So, artificial intelligence is basically used by a developer or a programmer or a person who is developing some kind of software or application.
Right, right, right.
So, ITL is the framework or the best practices which we can incorporate in any kind of software tool or any kind of a product where artificial intelligence can be used.
Okay,
So
okay.
this particular certification or this particular domain is required for a professional who is looking his career into project management,
Right, right.
and not in a development or a testing or any kind of. So now
Yes,
who is
yes.
interested in project management, program management, those kind of professionals will be very beneficial with this particular best practices knowledge.
Yes.
So after MCA, you have MCA. We have a very vast opportunity. I would also like to highlight here that every individual should not think that after completing MCA, he will do a developing only, or he will do coding only, or he will have to do C, CPP, Java, जो भी हम करते थे. So the after completing MCA, the future is not limited to only for development or coding.
Achha.
A professional can be a very good project management principal or a project manager, and not a project manager not of a software part only. He can be a project manager of a cloud infrastructure, service delivery, or a cloud projects, everything. So MCA helps us for that also. A person who has a network domain knowledge also of firewall, or yesterday you told that you have a cyber security session.
Right.
So a person who has MCA background can choose his career in cyber security also.
Right.
So this particular ITIL is used in earlier stage. What happens? Let's say I have an experience of 11 years today. So earlier days, I used to perform hands-on activities in networking. I used to configure firewalls and devices. But later on, now I am a head of one particular department.
Right.
So when I am heading a particular department, I should be aware of these kinds of best practices, these principles which are used in project management or basically IT service management.
Correct.
For this knowledge is very individual who is completing his MCA. Parallelly, he can work on completion of ITL certification course or at least a foundation course. Later on in future, step by step, he gets a practical knowledge of the market or the domain particular. He
Yes.
can work on intermediate and practitioner courses.
Very good. Thank you.
Or
Or any question from the audience side? Definitely it will be helpful for our student. No issue. And a session hand over to Mr. Kulkarni sir.
Thank you, sir. I am very much thankful to our today's resource person, respected Harish Godse sir from the ESDS company. He has very elaborately given us an idea about the information technology IL. That's very new, available for all the aspirants of the computer science degree. I am also thankful to our management, Honorable Secretary Dr. Hemant Deshpande sir, our respected and beloved chairman, Dr. Ajit Bandakkar sir. Then I am very much thankful to the director, Dr. Priti Kulkarni ma'am, our director, Dr. Sriram Jade sir, and all my colleagues of the MCA department, and all the students of the Dr. Moonje Institute of Management and Computer Studies, Nasik. Uh, uh, Feedback form is being shared at the YouTube chat section. We are also going to share it through our mail section. I also request all the participants, if they do have any query, they can post us through the mail. We will get it cleared from the resource person, and we will revert back to you very soon. I have declared this session as concluded, and I'm again thankful all of you for the being patient listening at this technical session of our national webinar series, second session. Thank you very much.
thank you, sir. Thank you very much.